Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood, and I'm here to review John Philip Betancourt's continuing blog series, The Return of Dark Shadows, Series 11, Chapter 7, In Rolls the Fog. And he picks up from where Dr. Julia Hoffman almost hypnotized her granddaughter by giving her a syringe, trying to control her mind. Basically, she doesn't want her, no, basically, she doesn't want her to ask questions about her past. Um, which I can't say I blame her. I mean, you think about it, you think about the secrets Julia Hoffman is basically the weight on that woman's shoulders. It's just causing her to break. And really, she almost did, and almost. And you sort of wonder. Power went out here. You sort of wonder, was she or wasn't she? And she didn't, but she still could. And that's the scary part of this. So you have Quinn, who's in her office at the DA's office working. In walks her boss with a cup of coffee for her and him. Man, you want to talk about the smoothest son of a bitch of a boss? It's Gabriel, and I mean that in a good way. He's this. I'm gonna give an explanation why I thought he was Quentin. He's so goddamn smooth with the women. He's somewhat shy a little bit, but again, that smile, the wink, the how smooth he is. I mean, he could literally he'd give Quentin a run for his money for Jones and with a woman. I'm telling you. Um, but that, in my opinion. But Gabriel is very smooth. Now, Gabriel has a special ability. He has visions and he can sense evil and good. Whether someone. And he sensed that about Julia Hoffman. And what. Sorry, guys, my power went out and turning my computer's coming back on. But you have this guy who has a special ability in Gabriel, and he sensed Julia Hoffman's bad intentions, and he wants to come out and flat out tell Quinn, but again, there's always there's always a question, do you reveal yourself to somebody? Because once you do, there's no going back, right? Do you reveal that you have these special abilities? And, with great power comes great responsibility. And while he has a responsibility to her, in a sense, and wants to help her, he also has a responsibility to himself, which is understandable. So he sort of just he tells her, be careful. Like, he doesn't want her to get hurt by her grandmother. And she sort of starts, why? Why do you say that? And he's like, I don't know, he's trying to warn her without revealing himself. And while this is going on, while he's having a conversation with her, he has a vision. And he's inside Julia Hoffman's mind. And he hears a voice, sinister, and this voice tells him, you've overstepped your bounds, buddy. You've stepped in. Just put this on. You've stepped into some deep, deep shit here. And there ain't no going back. But Barnabas Collins, who's a spirit, tells him, and he's trying so hard to get back to the living, and they have one of the most intense conversations of, Barnabas can sense Gabriel fears him, and Gabriel's more fear your intent. I think that's something that definitely comes across so easily. I've always said the writer John makes you feel like you're there, and definitely he always does this. So when I'm reading these for like the second or third time, it's, even the first time, it's not hard to picture yourself there with these characters. And I love that, So this conversation of, you know, Barnabas, questioning him and Gabriel questioned him back of, why is Gabriel's having a vision, and Barnabas, why are you here? And it's like, no. Gabriel's like, why are you here? So it's like stalemate. No one loves to play chess more so than Barnabas Collins with the people he's talking to. Um, so Gabriel, though, I like what he does. He flat out asks Barnabas, "Are you the one who's telling Julia, you should hurt Quinn? Are you putting Quinn in danger?" And Barnabas, I believe him. It's not him. It has been Julia Hoffman this whole time, thinking, maybe she should hypnotize Quinn. Um, so Barnabas tells him no, and Barnabas tells him it ain't me you need to worry about, but Julia Hoffman will tell Quinn in her own time, And I like what Barnabas does there, but he's also being cynical with him too, in the sense of Barnabas, while he wants to come back to the living, he has a lot of power right now as a spirit, and he's never had this much power. So he feels a lot of freedom. And he sort of tries to bite, his natural instinct, because he's a vampire. He tries to bite Gabriel, but Gabriel snaps out of it, and Quinn's like, and this was all in front of Quinn too. And Quinn's like, "Are you all right?" Could you imagine this if you're standing in front of your boss? We all know what zoning out is, but if somebody were to have a vision and you're talking to them and they're not responding to you, could you imagine the explanation you're going to give? But he just, no, I'm okay. I like that. Again, no, he's an attractive, handsome man. So to her, it's like, I believe you. There might be some relations going on there. But, you know what I'm saying. I'm having too much fun this morning. But a great conversation between Barnabas and Gabriel. You could really feel the tension between the two. And just the back and forth was really well done. So after all this, you get Angelique and Curtis. And I love this as well. You have Curtis, who is literally in love with Angelique. This isn't a. Now, you could say, well, she did put him under a spell. Yeah, but the spells wore off. He legitimately loves her, which is something Angelique has always wanted. Now, Angelique says, they won't forgive me for what I did, and I can't blame them. I did a lot to them, the whole family. But Curtis says something that is so true. Victoria Winters tried to, kill the Collins family too. So to Curtis, it's like, she can't, it's hypocritical for her to judge you when she tried to do something similar, And, they have this conversation, Curtis and his mom do, Victoria Winters, and you have a very surreal moment between the three of them, and Angelique getting asked to come up to inside, um, I think was just a real good, it's a good feel-good moment, because Angelique, who's been this outsider her whole life, and I think that's what a lot of this is about, really, is Angelique being an outsider. Angelique didn't ask to get her heart broken. Like John, I was talking to John yesterday, and he was saying that, and he's right. Angelique, didn't ask to get her heart broken. She just made the wrong decisions. After she did get her heart broken, she didn't make a lot of good decisions. Which, I mean, that's what life's about, is decisions, decisions, decisions. And once you make a decision, sometimes it's the wheel keeps spinning forward. So, so I love the interaction there. And now you get to David Collins. David Collins, who is in Collinwood, and Dominique visits him, and I love this because he thinks Dominique is actually there. He doesn't think he doesn't think she's a spirit. He doesn't know what happened to her. So Dominique never really kept, or sorry, David never really kept track of Dominique, um, which that's made evident really quick. And Dominique tries to tell him about their daughter, but he's just, no, we can't have this relationship. And it's like, she's not really so much wanting the relationship, she's just wanting to tell him and move forward. But, and finally she does tell him, but I think she does feel a little jilted. It's like, after all this time, as a spirit's journey, what I felt here as the reader, in my opinion, my perspective, this spirit's journey has been long, hard, and struggling, and you get that not only through Dominique but through Gabriel. And once this moment happens, I think it's almost like a smack in the face to Dominic, in the sense of, man, he's just really. And look, the Collins family members tend to do this. I'm not saying David's wrong for doing it. He hasn't seen her in years, but in the same sense, he needs to have a realization moment of, holy shit, this woman's here to see me. Maybe I need to hear her out. And he doesn't do it right away. And I get why. I'm not saying he's wrong. That's just my perspective of it, from both sides. Sorry. So she disappears. David's coat is on the floor. He put his coat on her, and he didn't realize, again, she was a spirit. And David feels this woman is going to haunt him and try to get him from his family now. I can't blame him for feeling that, but we'll see what happens for sure. Um, so I really enjoyed this. It was very creepy, but yet heart wrenching at the same time. You had a lot of heart wrenching moments. You had Angelique, Curtis, Victoria. Those three there were really, really good. And then you had David and Dominique. I can't say one stole it over the other because they were all three really, really good. The opening was really good. The monologue. I love the monologue. And then you have, Barnabas and Gabriel. You have Quinn. They're talking. Quinn and Gabriel start the conversation about Julia, but then you have the vision with Gabriel and Barnabas. Man, just really, really exciting to go and read this. Go check this out, guys. Link will be in the description box for the Return of Dark Shadows, the blog, so you can go read this chapter, the series 11. This is series 11, but chapter 7, In Rolls the Fog. Really, really good. I enjoyed the hell out of this, reading this. Just when I read that Barnabas and Gabriel part, it sort of gave me chills. Like, holy shit. But definitely go check this out, and I'll see you guys Wednesday. I'm going to do 2 videos Wednesday, 2 videos Thursday, and probably 3 videos Friday. So I got a long week ahead of me. I need to get some goddamn writing done. Alright, guys, like, share, comment, and subscribe.